summer, they can form herds in the tens of thousands. But for the Yakuts, this little herd will do just fine. In spring, as the weather finally warms, the rivers begin to unlock. Broken ice makes handy barges for lazy waterfowl. But the gaps in the ice also give golden-eyed ducks a chance to fish. Soon, they're out in force. They're not the only ones braving the cold waters. Dippers live up to their names, bobbing for small bugs and crustaceans. As parts of the river thaw, the birds flock to the grand openings. The retreating ice unleashes a remarkably hardy amphibian. The Siberian salamander. Compounds in their blood enable these newts to survive temperatures of minus 40 degrees Celsius. They can stay frozen solid for years before thawing and reviving as good as new. They then head for the cold water where they will mate and lay eggs, before freezing again next season. The Siberian salamander is one of only a few species on the planet that can survive the deep freeze like this. Moving 1,500 kilometers to Siberia's southern steppes, the landscape dramatically changes. Pine forests give way to what look like African plains. Here, wild horses run free. They share the land with small groups of camels and the strange goitered gazelle. These nomadic gazelles once roamed across Central Asia by the tens of thousands. But hunting and habitat loss have taken their toll. They meander across the plains, eating grasses and shrubs. In the autumn rut, the males' throats swell up, giving them their name. A threatened gazelle can dart from its enemies at 60 kilometers per hour. They slip like a breeze through the Mongolian border fence. Heading southwest along the 3,400-kilometer Mongolian border, the terrain turns mountainous. The Altai Mountains stretch 4,500 meters into the sky and are over twice as long as the European Alps. In this arid, harsh and windswept environment, the world's largest sheep make their home. The Argali, weighing in at about 160 kilos, prized by hunters for their size. A male with his harem seems at peace. But even without hunters, the life of an alpha male is tense. A challenger comes. It takes over 3 years for a young male to grow the impressive adult horns, which can spiral to 190 centimeters long and weigh up to 20 kilos. The group of females attracts attention from would-be suitors. The alpha male is clearly unimpressed. The youngster will see what it means to be a top male. But the challenger pulls his punches, just testing the dominant male's resolve. The top male lords over a harem of up to 25 females, while young upstarts wait on the sidelines. This ram senses the chance to mate. Lip curling, called the Flamen response, allows him to taste the air for pheromones indicating a willing female. She's out here, but which one? He tries his sexiest moves, but the girls aren't in the mood. Finally, he gets his fleeting reward. No matter, he'll mate with many females during the season. But he's not the only one who knows a good thing when he smells it. More suitors arrive. They try to sneak in while the alpha male is distracted. But he soon wises up. The thick neck absorbs the blows. The delicate brain is cushioned beneath the core of the hollow horns. He defends his claim and relocates his harem. One challenger won't give up so easily. They can crash at nearly 100 kilometers per hour. Eventually, a final blow signals the end. When spring comes to Siberia, the floodgates open. Over millennia, racing waters have cut swathes through hard rock and pine forests. In southeast Siberia, much of it runs to the 7th largest freshwater lake in the world. 636 kilometers long and 180 kilometers at its widest. This is Lake Baikal. This record-breaking lake holds 20% of the Earth's fresh water, as much as all 5 of America's Great Lakes combined. But with the water temperature rarely rising above 8 degrees Celsius, it's not as inviting as it looks. But that's okay for the residents, the only freshwater seals in the world. The Baikal seals. No one knows how they got to the enclosed lake. One theory is that they evolved from ringed seals 500,000 years ago when the Arctic Ocean extended further into Siberia. Thousands of years of isolation turned them into a separate species. In the middle of the lake are the Ushkani Islands. Here the seals form their colonies, safe from human predation. After a dip in the lake, nothing beats a dry resting place on the lakeside rocks. Getting onto them is by no means easy using flippers. But underwater, they are hydrodynamic torpedoes, zipping along at up to 25 kilometers per hour. The oldest and deepest lake in the world, over 1.5 kilometers, originated more than 20 million years ago when 2 tectonic plates drifted apart. They're still separating at about 6 millimeters a year. Down here, the Baikalian sponge colony resembles a coral reef. It can even survive under complete ice cover. 60% of the creatures found here are unique to the lake. While some animals are tiny, the oxygen-rich water enables extreme growth in others. Some amphipods in Lake Baikal can reach 90 millimeters. Deep in the lake, life and death quietly play out. Snails clean up a rotting fish. Others are busy mating in the cold waters. "50 stories up on the surface, Baikal prepares for an invasion." Caddis flies. After spending a year or so as larvae underwater, they transform into winged adults and take to the skies. The millions of tiny flies attract far bigger animals. As they hold a mass mating orgy along the banks of the lake, brown bears come to feed on this fleeting feast of protein. The flies may only live for a week, so must rush to lay eggs on the water before dying. And for 10 days or so, bears search them out, dead or alive. They can eat up to 40 kilos of food a day, and flies make a pleasant addition to their mainly vegetarian diet. Many are attracted by this short-lived feast.